I thought maybe I'd do a no notes night show. It's funny calling it a show. I have a lot to get out. Don't feel like I've been doing it properly. Got some notebooks today. I'm gonna write out an outline, proper patterns to be able to show others. Easy, y'all. To be able to show others the path toward expanding perspective. Literally everything in this world is not a big deal. And everything, I should say everything in this life, and everything in this life is an opportunity. And everything in this life is a projection of your energy back to you so that you can see what it is that you must address within you. There's a lot of nuance to that. There's some stuff that I'll probably say that may sound a little frustrating. I'm not upset. Everything's cool. But I'm a pretty tough fella. And sometimes, I spend a lot of time alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm extremely confident that the truth is I hold a perspective that's pretty rare. And I'm working on saying things and holding myself more gently. But sometimes I feel like somebody's just got to fucking tell you. It's hard to fix things when you're looking through filters that are telling you a different story. It's like you're looking through a kaleidoscope, and through the kaleidoscope, you see on the other side a reality that is separate from who you really are. And what is considered to be, in my opinion, the matrix or the trick of this place. And this place is tricky because it takes away your memory when you come here. What is considered to be the trick of this place is, to me, or a myriad of matrices. This is not to give any bias or support to the movies or the supposed books or themes of the Matrix. Just literally use the word matrix itself. I'm not considering it to be a simulacrum or a simulation. I know many folks will say 100% is that and you're wrong. No. You see that because that's what you believe. And we'll get to that. If you want to turn it off now, fucking bitch, turn it off. But I say bitch because it's a bitch move. Matrix is not a thing that's controlling you. Young, come here. The matrix is not a thing that's controlling you. It's a thing that keeps you from seeing, that you have accepted and input into you. It is literally the filters between you as spirit or energy, divine energy, which is in every way limitless. You are limitless energy. Limitless. Not limited by physics or quantum physics or what any other human has ever fucking said about anything. You are limitless spiritual energy. And you have a body. And it's a gift. And it's a gift specifically so that you can interact with this magical realm. And this magical realm is feeding back to you how you are using your energy and what you need to focus on to grow. And in between your body and your connection to your spirit versus this magical realm of interaction and feedback is another feedback loop. And it is information, data, is everything, including things you're seeing or hearing right this second. It's everything that's not the natural world. Everything. Everything. And that all is fitting within a or a multitude of collective unconsciouses. Those are loops of beehive attachments of our auras attached to each other. And information comes into those and we all absorb them. And some absorb them at different frequencies than others. And we all perceive the state of our frequency. Because we're all in the collective unconscious, or not exactly now, but those that are in the collective unconscious end up, for the most part, choosing one of two or three options within the collective unconscious that feeds the information back to itself, and then feeds that information or new information back into the individuals, and they all believe basically that the world works the same way. So they perceive to the state of what they believe. And you're actually here to expand your belief structure. But you don't do that within the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious tells you, yeah, but wait, hurry up and wait. Just we accept everything you think and feel. Just don't actually do it. Just wait. Don't complete you. Talk about it, think about it, feel about it. Just don't get out of the collective unconscious. Because to actually address yourself, you must remove yourself. And the matrix is not a thing that you're in. Collective unconscious is not a thing that you're in. It looks like that in a drawing, but it's actually in you. The matrix are filters in you that you have accepted in. And you are then projecting that filtered information back out. All it is dimming your ability to see the magical realm that you're in and your ability to see your true self of who you've always been and where you came from and what your intention of what to do is here. It's basically a drug that keeps you in blinders on both sides. That's it. And just makes the middle part foggy and everybody else's middle part is foggy. And so they're all watching the same foggy screen. And then they take 3D glasses and take some pills and eat some M&Ms and everybody's living the same foggy life. That's the matrix. It's not scary. Yes, everything eats your energy. But that's what you're here to do, is to give your energy and then you receive more. And what you pay attention to grows. So you can perceive where you're paying attention outwardly. But what you pay attention to inwardly is always showing out, always projecting out. The issue is that we haven't had anyone in our life sit down and show us how the world works. No one sits down and shows us who we are, where we are, how this place works, how we function in relation to all of life and this magical realm. And then the last part would be perceiving the tricks of this place, or potential tricks. And all the tricks are just offers that are very subtle or sometimes fearful to keep you from being in attachment with your true self and with the natural magical realm. When I pause it, sometimes I'll lose the flow for a second. We don't have anyone that sits down and just tell us. So we have to figure out that we're in a riddle of a life. And it's not just this life that we're in, but we're in a riddle of a life. And then there's like Inception almost, multiple levels of riddles within riddles here. And then how much of it is accurate compared to how much of it, if I follow that white rabbit, am I losing my fucking mind? How much of it is everybody else who's just playing the straight up game is right? Or what does my soul tell me is is true and has always been true? There's a few things that no one can ever convince me otherwise. One is that you are creating here and you're not from here. Another is that damn near everyone is so fucking terrified inside that it's too much for them to even address the fact that they're scared. And it's because they're within a middling program. And another is that there's literally nothing that can't be overcome with focus and friction. Love and loyalty is all that matters. Everything is situational. Everything's always changing. Find your purpose. Honor your gift. Follow your bliss. This might sound like wild rambling or pointless uh, late night jargon. I suggest you let some of it marinate. Sit with the Hermetic principles, not because of Hermes, not because of the Kabbalion, not because of alchemy. Sit with the Hermetic principles because the more you honor the fact that you may begin to perceive them or that you already do, the more this world will begin to show those principles to you. It may take a little while, but you will figure out what they mean. And once you figure out what they mean, and then there's obviously more steps beyond that, it would change some things. It's not just mind over matter. It's that everything you wish to find, you will find. Everything that you wish to find, you will find. It seems so silly. Don't run from it. Look at it. Write it down if you must. I'm not big into saying you have to do these 5 steps, 12 steps, whatever, because that takes away your power. And I know it's a process of building power, but as far as I see it, you are everything. You are perfect. You don't need me. You don't need anything. You need to find what's always been inside and find the courage to let it out. And that's the key. And if anyone's ever watching this, including me, it means you need a reminder. I'm never going to tell you anything you don't know. Psst, no one will. Just like every pill only affects the body based on the fact that there's already a receptor for those chemical compounds, meaning the body already makes those chemicals naturally. The only way that you can receive the information that I'm providing or anyone's providing is based on the actual fact that you are ready and willing to accept that material, that information, based on being open to that resonance. You must be of the same resonance. You must be. Or you'll be a horse to water without drinking. That's how it goes. You can't tell anybody shit. Your words are for you. Your actions are for everyone else. There's a lot of tricks in this place, and we live in a time between times. And it's frustrating and tricky because everybody thinks they know. You ever notice that everybody thinks they're at the place right now where they know more than everybody else or they know more than they used to? Everybody's always walking around thinking that they're at the moment where they now know more. They're always in the place of knowing more. You know, there was a cartoon, G.I. Joe cartoon when I was little. It was, I think it ended before every commercial. It would say, the more you know. I'm not sure I'm the same as everybody else, genuinely. Um, but it's not about what you know. It's damn sure not about who you know. It's about getting really good at finding the question and then receiving the answer within yourself. Finding the courage to realize that you are the magic in this place. You are the magic this place is functioning on. You are the divine limitless energy that this place is paying attention to, waiting for you to give your energy out. You are. And you're running from it. Spend your whole life running. Not me. I'm not special. I'm like everybody else. I just want to fit in, have a good time, get through this weird life. You might be passing by something pretty awesome. You might be passing by the opportunity to be a living God in a material world. It doesn't mean that's in any way blasphemy. Every spiritual being, everyone, every religion, all philosophy, if you really, really, really look at it, is hinting, 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 hinting. You are the fractalization of God, of the creative energy of all. And that same thing that created you, which is the real greater you, created this magical realm. And there's tricks in this realm. Some natural, some not so natural. But nothing that you can't overcome. In fact, it's easy as shit. It's easy as shit. And if everybody else would wake the fuck up, weird guys like me wouldn't have to talk to these computers that we don't like. You can't wake anybody up. You almost can't do anything for anybody. Charity doesn't work. Basically, everything in society is an offering to distract you and keep you from becoming aware of the real you. And if you ever do slip into that awareness, just to provide you an easy outlet to come right back into society, right back in the default mode. That was cool, great experience. Now you know you're everything. You're one with everything. In your dreams, maybe, or when you take mushrooms. But get back to work, you know? That's more important. Don't do anything with your life, really. Have some kids, maybe, but don't teach them. Don't teach them who they are, where they are, how this place works. And definitely don't offend anybody else who doesn't know shit about shit. Keep your head down, literally, as a saying in society. Keep your head down. It's not personal, it's just business. And that's who you want to serve? You don't think you're worshiping them, maybe? With your divine energy? Maybe you're worshiping those that are influencing society? I mean, you can't really give them your energy. You are you are God, a fractalization of God. I mean, you can't steal your energy, but you are certainly empowering them by being a joke of yourself to the point where the real you doesn't even want to watch the show of you anymore because you're not swinging for anything. I struck the fuck out, but then I came back swinging. That's how you should live. See, we are in a time between times. These ages are turning. These great ages. Um, I'm very confident on how life works. I am not confident at all in how any of the physical matters work. Um, and that applies to what the moon is, or if you can leave and go into space. It's very easy for me to say this place we live on is not live within it is not this shape, not that shape, or stars or energy forms. You can't go there. But the real, honest truth is, I don't know. And I don't really care. I, excuse me. I know that there's great power in the energy of the stars and the sun and the moon. Great power. Maybe the greatest power that there's ever been in physical form, honestly. I think we're downplaying that shit like crazy. Um, I know that the full moon and the new moon affect me literally every single month, and I forget every month, and then every single time, like, and it didn't used to affect me like that as much, at least. I know that the sun is everything. I know that the mineral, excuse me, the minerals of this place, of this natural realm, the minerals in the ether are in constant flow of energy. Constant. Love and loyalty is all that matters. Love being the proliferation of the frequency of God, the singular love. In this place, there's duality, which is love and fear, but they're not versus each other. They're just providing balance to everything here and providing balance to you. But you think fear is fucked up because you've been inundated with the repetition of fear because you live within a world which is within society, which is within a collective unconscious that provides information consistently and seeps into you and you project it back out and you feed it back into collective unconscious. So your society runs damn near 100% on repetition of fear. So everybody you know, including you, is primarily used to operating in repetition of fear, 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 until that noise, repetition of fear, it's just background noise. It's okay. It's not fear anymore, it's just regular. And the only reason it's like that is to keep a stagnant frequency in this time, between times. Everything is always changing. The time that we're moving into is so clearly an elevated frequency of awareness. And to get there, there are dramatics. Many of those dramatics come from a natural process of tearing down so that there can be the release process and all that shit that doesn't need to be there just kind of gets out of the way so that greater value can be raised by it can be offered and accepted by the individuals that have greater value already, which is a frequency of wisdom and love. Wisdom being properly applied and efficient guidance of knowledge, not sitting with knowledge, but applying it properly. So focus and friction effectively and be able to offer that to others. And then there's the group that is not groups in one kind of larger group is not good or bad, but is influencing the information going into the more localized and lower standard collective unconscious, which most are part of. So that's another collective unconscious. That would be more of what's considered to be the they or controllers, right? They're just playing the part. They're just spirits playing the part. You know, if you're scared that they're worshiping Baphomet, Baphomet's going to change. The things that they worship are going to change. Everything is energy flowing. All of it is no greater, all combined, than who you really are. But you feel small here. Just stop feeling small for a second. Realize what it is. It's an opportunity for you to see you. Seems cool before you get here. And you get here and like, seems like everybody else is scared and retarded. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I got my friends though, my brother, my sister. So I'll just go along and get along, I guess. Maybe I'll start drinking. Pecker gets hard. Or I'm a girl and I listen to rap music, so I'm supposed to be a hoe. I guess. I guess. And completely forget eventually, being ingratiated in society, that we are divine, limitless spirit. Beyond religion. Beyond anything man-made on any level. And there are a lot of spiritual, religious values that are fairly accurate. I just, it's perfectly clear to me that every answer lies just latent, sitting there waiting for you, within you. Primum vultus interiorum. First look within. That is literally the answer to everything in your life. It's that one thing. It's that one answer. Primum vultus interiorum. And so, as these ages are changing, and there's the group that's attempting to continue to control the collective unconscious from within their collective unconscious, basically all they do is provide information into the lower collective unconscious because they receive information, and then that's they're within a program too. So don't think that like they're free. This group isn't free. Everybody has to, including those in the above collective unconscious, they must separate themselves to become aware of themselves, and then practice growing themselves. And then if they choose, they can tether themselves back to the whatever collective unconscious, and then lower or raise the frequency depending on where they are. But in theory, you would desire to raise yourself, grow your aura, become a greater you, and then tether yourself back to the collective unconscious and show a way, show a pattern so that others can grow themselves. So you're leaving the luminescence and the footprints of what they can do to get to who they are meant to be. Basically, a proper mechanism of raising the frequency of all consciousness in this place. And I perceive that there will be a splitting of collective unconsciouses, that one will stay Terribly sorry. One will stay approximately where it is with a collective unconscious group, and another will grow to a position of sovereignty without a collective unconscious dictating information to it, without any ism or rule, and without lower laws and judgments and fears, with a base level wisdom that is above dumb shit, basically, with a higher level of perspective that is not looking for utopia, but is looking to learn from this place and guide the next generation and the next generation to find greater and greater wisdom within themselves from learning within this place. And it's not about being here, it's about remembering who you are, finding your mission here and accomplishing your mission here, and then showing the way and not forcing anybody else into your way, but showing the way. This is a spiritual realm. It's not that you're a spirit and you're stuck here. This is a spiritual realm. You are spiritual energy. You come from somewhere else? Probably, yeah. I mean, we're being honest. You change the dimensions in this place enough, like what is it even like? Might be the same joint. Just might look and feel completely different. We're in a time between times, and in my opinion, it will take a while to to fully go through the process. It's a growth process. There tends to be a lot of folks that see like the Talmud, the Torah, or the Bible, or the Quran, or very specifically Revelations, and say everything is coming to an end and it's all prophecy. That seems to be very fear based. But let's just say, okay, well, what do you mean by that? What is that? What is coming to an end? Who wrote that? Who edited it? In my opinion, I'm I would be very, very, very surprised if the writers and editors of those stories weren't aware of the fact that there's divine energy coming out of the being and creating in conjunction with this magical place. Seems that it's super clear that they know that. So, wouldn't the intention be somewhere along the lines of telling a story to influence those that are unconsciously creating to create the ending of the story as they choose? What is the greatest thing that you can do? Is it to focus on those stories or any story? Or is it to become the greatest version of you that you can be? You ever notice that the wise sages and the individuals within society that attempt to free the masses from indoctrination, they get got? I mean, you can say those stories are all make believe too, or whatever. I'm not saying anything's make believe. But I will say that it seems like this thing is fixed. It seems like this life is fixed. It seems like these stories are fixed. It seems like the past is fixed. It seems like this moment is fixed. It seems like this is fixed. It's not. Love and loyalty is all that matters. Simplified. Just that. Everything is situational. Everything is always changing. You ever notice that uh, depending on the social group that you're in, whether it be some like alternative history or maybe kind of like New Age Christian or um, deep geopolitical conspiracy or sports, sports history, whatever. There's always these new revelations, these new interpretations, these new meanings, these new epiphanies that seem to come out almost in general, kind of at the same time across the world. It's like this frequency picks up on these things. Did you hear this? This? Did you know that? It doesn't matter. I don't want to give examples, but it may seem odd. Truth is, with the history that's in those books, the history that's in our memories, the history that is in the libraries, it naturally changes based on the frequency that we are holding and that we are projecting out as accepted. That's the truth. And that's part of the reason why so much of the above collective unconscious who's basically their job is to put information into the lower collective unconscious to keep it at a certain frequency. Part of the objective of that is that it's predicting the information that's coming in will also be the information that comes back out, and the individuals unknowingly within the collective unconscious, because they are magic with this thing, and this place is magic, and they are divine, limitless energy. They can't help but do it because they are the fractalization of God that creates everything. They are the creative generative principle. I am, and you are. This information comes in and then is accepted unconsciously and projected back out. And then we all accept. Yep, that's the reality we live in, and that's the world, and that's the past. That's the story. But in reality, history is the story of mystery. And what's in the Bible changes. You say it's the Word of God. God's not running from you. God's giving you everything because you are God. Giving you everything right here, right now. Always has. Don't be scared. It's the history books. They're full of truths and they're full of lies. They're full of misinformation and deceit, disinformation. They're also full of accidental errors. But more than any of that, this world is magic. And they magically change by themselves. That's the truth. This world is a lot closer to that picture in Back to the Future, where Marty McFly's sister and brother were starting to disappear from the picture. It's what the accepted collective unconscious vibrates with, is in harmony and frequency with, that projects that resonance out, and then it is then offered back in, and we see it in our society, in our collective unconscious. That's how it works. You may think it's just a dude rambling, but I've seen it. I know it. I hold the gnosis of it. I'm not into computers, but it seems like most humans aren't at the place of accepting it yet. They'll accept that government's messed up, or I'm against the other political party, or most of those religions are traps. But they don't want to develop, not that they don't want to, they're not at the place of developing the required nuance to be able to perceive. And that is based on their resonance. Take that back to the Hermetic principles. Vibration, frequency, it's resonance. Everything is a communication of resonance. The past changes. The presentation of power changes. Oppression, fear, the enemy changes. Throughout all of supposed history, the gods have changed. In every religion. You see, these gods are not the creator, they're energy representations. And they're not good or bad. They're representing the required balance of energy, for good and bad, to hold where the collective unconscious is going. Or not collective unconscious, but where the development of consciousness itself is going. Collective unconscious has been suppressed and lassoed. And that is a major issue for a lot of the confusion over the last few thousand years with these ruling parties that seem to be obviously ruling everything but are out of touch. They're not they're out of reach to be touched. And some can see that and some don't care and some don't, some worship them and it seems to be not cool. Seems to be, in my opinion, kind of represented by the Merovingian, which is a supposed real family, obviously, Merovingians in France. The Merovingian in, I think it was the second Matrix movie. And he was also playing Lucifer, I believe. None of this stuff, I know it sounds like it is like so clearly, no, I'm on the good side. I'm not on the bad side, I'm on the good side. None of this stuff is good and bad. It's not. You are projecting your energy into this world. You don't know that you're doing it. You're doing it now. You have 5 layers of consciousness that operate within your standardized mind here. That's not all of who you are. But those 5 layers are superconscious, self-conscious, unconscious, lower unconscious, subconscious. So it comes down like this, like the energy of a tree into the roots of the womb of the subconscious. And the subconscious is projecting that out into this magical realm. Yet, if you're living within matrices, and remember, you're not in a matrix, the matrices are in you, then what you're projecting out and what you're feeding down through your super self unconscious, lower unconscious, into your subconscious is in filters. So now you're only feeding out through your subconscious what's been filtered through the matrix. So you can't see past the matrix, and you're not projecting anything is going to let you see past the matrix. So you must separate from the collective unconscious, to be able to project out and see the real you. Or you can have an epiphany. You can have a moment of oneness with love. You can have an ayahuasca trip, or whatever it is that you don't or do require. Everything that's happening in this life is happening exactly as it's supposed to. It's all ordained. It's also fully open to free will. You're not a slave of anything. You're not in a prison. There is no conspiracy to ruin all of life. There are groups that do things that would be considered bad, you know? But if you look at the long game, it's not what's actually going on. It's an interesting process to get to the place of living at a higher frequency. And there are a lot of greater truths in some of these secret societies or social orders of antiquity. And one that many have heard many times is order out of chaos. And it seems like that is that only applies to creating chaos so that the masses become separated and screw themselves over and act like the dumb proletariat, and then make a choice of revolution or not, and then creates a greater standardization of order for the ruling families to continue. But that doesn't have to be the only way to look at it. We're changing through ages. Great changes are occurring in the blessed opportunities we have in these lives. In this one shared moment in which we're here now. You could just be the best you. You could stop pretending like the internet is informing you. I used to do that until I realized it was fucking my life up. Not that it was all lies, but I started to catch on. I started to smell something. Something smelled fucking fishy. It's not just that I know everything about every conspiracy. I got it all figured out. So far ahead of everyone, I can't talk to anybody about anything that's interesting to me. They literally can't comprehend what I want to say. But also, my real life is getting worse. Like, way worse. Consistently. And I started to see the correlations between the things I'm allowing in for information compared to what is appearing in my life. Oh, maybe this is some psychosis. This is how people turn into bums and go crazy. Well, fuck it. I'm going to take a deeper peek and just see for sure. Went down that road for a while. Amongst many other spiritual revelations, or I shouldn't say revelations because of how I used it before, but spiritual epiphanies. I came to see very clearly. I can see clearly now. Um, Look, it's this easy. The information you take in affects you. And unless you pay real close attention, unless you are super honed in, that's damn near the same information that you're going to project out into your world. And you're going to see that frequency of events in your life. And you think that's not how it is? That's how it is. That is how it is. And you will see it much more drastically if you separate from the collective unconscious, because the collective unconscious keeps you safe. It keeps everybody in a standard frequency. So there's some good things about it. It's not all nefarious. It's not supporting you, and it's not oppressing you. It's keeping you in a public school. To prove that you require greater than public school food and instruction, you must power yourself up to be strong enough to say to the president of the public school, the principal, I'm better in this place, I'm out of here. And the principal probably hears it all the time and says, okay, but you got to get the point of doing that. Nobody can tell you to do it. You got to go do it. And then when you go out in the street by yourself after being in public school or the collective unconscious, you're probably going to go like this. Collective unconscious, you go off by yourself, whoop, because you're not used to holding your own frequency. And to go up, you must go down. That's not in the Hermetic principles. There's some teachings of this place that I think maybe don't stand the test of time in all ages, but I found to be very true in this life for me. Every time I point up, I'm on a plateau. Not that that's where I must go. I have to shoot for the stars, but just naturally, like that, that's my arrow. It goes like this. Whoop, and then back up. It's like to really deserve it, you must taste the tar, the bottom of the pit by yourself. And it's going to be equilateral distance to how, as low as it is, that's how high your mountain peak will be. But if you separate from the collective unconscious, you're not used to holding your own frequency, so you'll probably drop. And then you're by yourself and you're at low frequency and nobody understands you. And you're all alone. And you're like, why the fuck did I come into this life? This shit was all good just a week ago. What the hell? Well, that's what the great gift is. When you're in the forest, you sit in that forest. You sit with it and you find the courage in yourself. Stop running. Bitch, stop running. Just look at who you are. Look at where you are. Look at how scared you are of every little thing. Is that a snake under that leaf? You're sitting in the forest and everything is scary to you. Until you just eventually surrender. And you stop being so scared. You just get tired of being scared. Your fear is your mirror. Here. It's a great blessing and always will be. Same way that I've noticed in my life, in your 40s, as a man, pain doesn't really, it's not the same thing that it used to be. When you're a little kid, for me, a little boy, you're fresh, your nerves are fresh. You haven't experienced a lot. You haven't had to be pushed to real uncomfortable things for far distances many times. And so if you get hurt, that's fresh. It just stings more. You're not mentally, emotionally used to it, and it's providing feedback, but you're not desiring the feedback, and your body truly stings a little bit more than it seems like it does when you get older. But I think it's clear to me a large part of that process is I've come to accept what pain is and embrace it. It's okay. This is guidance. This is pain showing me the proper mechanism, the proper path, the proper way, or it's showing me, here's your feedback, pal, right here. Here it is. From this magical place. Here's your feedback. I mean, it couldn't be more clear. My back hurts because I'm sat down for too long and ate pasta for 3 days in a row. Can't sleep right. Back goes out. That shit sucks. There's your feedback. It's a similar thing when we're growing and we're receiving feedback from our actual projections and interactions with this place. Everything hurts and we're always scared. So we don't ever want to go in there. So like a little kid, we protect ourselves. We're looking for someone else to protect us. And yet, like a little kid, we're running wild. And when something goes wrong, it's not our fault. Eventually, like exactly like the rites of passage of the indigenous groups before us, we must go sit in the forest with ourselves. Sit with our fears. Because if not, we'll pull ourselves and everybody else down with us. What you see in that forest is the real you. And the cool part is you see the real you overcome those fears that aren't the real you. Those fears are things that must be addressed. And just like every problem, the problem is never the spirit. The problem is never the body. The problem is the problem. And then the spirit and the body must take a big breath, let go of all the bullshit they're holding on to, and then address the problem as the problem. Only as the problem itself, not as I'm the problem, she's the problem, this finger's the problem. No, there's a problem, address the problem. But before you do that, connect with love. Forgive everything. Forgive yourself, which is the hardest part. There's little things hiding there. And imagination. In that order. Connect with love, forgive everything, forgive yourself, imagination. That's how you fix problems. That's how you address things. That's how you grow. That's how you take things one step at a time. In this time between times, all you have to do is find your purpose, honor your gifts, follow your bliss. To do that, to find the proper answers and the questions, prima vultus interiorum. First, look within. To do that, connect with love, forgive everything, forgive yourself, imagination. It's not harder, it's not easier, it's just the same shit over and over and over. The better you get at it, the easier it is because you enjoy it more. If you really, really, really like basketball when you were little, it didn't seem like it was a chore to play basketball because you always desired it. You couldn't stop wanting it. Same thing with drawing or ballet, riding your bike. But if you didn't like it and somebody told you to do it, it wasn't fun. Put that put that process together I just told you and make it fun. Or find a process for you that's similar, that works for you. How I found that process is I asked this and just was obvious. Sit underneath a big old tree. Sit by some water. That helps. Everybody's running from everything. Everybody's scared of everything to such a great deal only because they operate within a collective unconscious that feeds them repetition of fear and because they have unaddressed fears inside them that they came here to address. That's part of the reason why they're here. And they haven't had the guidance yet to address those. And it seems very counterintuitive and weird to go address those instead of make money, make money, make money, make money. You're paying half your fucking money in taxes, the other half to a boat and your financial advisor who doesn't even know what money is. Most financial advisors have no idea what legal tender is at all. And that's not, I'm not going to get into a law thing, but I'm not against that occupation. I have a bunch of friends who are financial advisors. But look, you make money, you make great financial returns by using your heart. No matter what anybody wants to say, that's the truth. You start meditating, you'll literally Grant Cardone 10x genuinely your returns to anything you want to do because you'll be a resonance with exactly what you choose to do. Whether it be you operate a business, you invest in an operating business, which is the best way to go, or you invest in more strategic plays like real estate, or I'm a big investing in land guy. I, what you pay attention to grows. If you're paying attention to somebody else's system, that's cool. That's going to grow. But if you find the courage to pay attention to your heart and start trusting that, that's when you are limitless. If you're playing within somebody else's system, you're not limitless. You actually are, but you're putting your limitless energy into that system, not into you. It's not a critique, it's just the truth. And it's okay if we choose to put our energy in different places. Not everybody has to be full on, carving out the mountains. But I'm a fan of nothing. I don't find it appealing to be a fan of anything. I'm not fanatical about any aggregors or energy forms. I'm focused on completing my mission here in this life, offering my family the opportunity to grow spiritually and to be in connection with this magical realm beyond any filters, any information matrices, any tricks. It's all good. Just grow past it, let it go. Offer them the opportunity to always find the truth in their heart. Start with your heart and then let everything go and get back to being the real you, the divine you. And no matter what anyone says, living with focus of an intention, attention, listening to your belly as your rudder, and acting with friction, fearlessly, consistently, and fearlessly, forever. The last thing I want to touch on is that there is no group to fight. The worst possible thing to do in this time between times is to attempt to start a big revolution to save the United States or save the EU or save the British Empire or save Argentina from being overtaken from China. The hell are you trying to save to start off with? Your emotions of a flag? Putting all your energy on this outside shit makes you feel terrible. And then you project that terrible into your life and you feel more and more fear. You can't save anyone else. It's not how this place works. Can't control anybody. The less you attempt to fight those things that bother you, honestly, the less control they'll have over you. Strongest thing you can do is live a life in which things that you care about outside of your family, things that you care about socially, things that you care about as far as how you like to see these worlds operate, just allow them to be. If it doesn't turn out the way you would like, literally give it no mind. And when you do that, I promise you'll see, oh, shit's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You got a sick cow out in the yard that's about to have a baby and needs to be addressed. That's a way bigger deal than who the president is. President of what? Honestly. To who? I'm not above violence. Sometimes I am, but I don't know. It's still there. But I can tell you, I'm not bringing violence to any other man's door. That won't fix shit. And this world does not need to be fixed. What I'm trying to say is that it's exactly as it's supposed to be. This world is an offering to you to find you. To stop looking outside into the world and see like how it's supposed to be, or it's so messed up, or it's not what I wanted, or I'm hoping for this thing. I got the thing I wanted outwardly. What about inwardly? The real you. The real you beyond church. The real you beyond your job. The real you beyond your friends at the mosque. The real you beyond whatever you eat, or vegan or hunting. The real you all the way to the core. What are the unaddressed things in there that you didn't get the opportunity in this life to sit in that forest with? That you know if you sat in that forest for 14 days, 40 days, whatever it is, that shit would show up. Why are there all these stories about individuals that went set off by themselves? Because that's when you find you. Not that you don't know it, it's that you live a life of unconsciously avoiding that which you must do all the time, every day. And you call it responsibility. It's not your fault. You've been tricked. And that woman or man in you wants to say, hey now, back off me. I'm doing the right thing by my family. I'm telling the truth to everybody, including myself. Have you addressed the things that you really, really, really must address about yourself? I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You'll be a greater man or a greater woman for it. And it is exactly what is keeping you from feeling fulfilled. That sense of incompleteness, unworthiness, don't fit in, frustration, confusion. There's something to do. There's something that I must do. Just a grain of fear, not being fully competent and in control of myself. If you don't go into that place, you always wish you did. That's what you're here for. Everybody's running around doing shit for everybody else, middling themselves to make everyone else comfortable who's middling themselves. And middling yourselves is the perfect way to never achieve the greatness of becoming the real you in your life. think you're trying to take care of everybody else, trying to do the right thing. You want to be the real hero of your life? Find you and then listen to you. Start with the heart, always. Shit's really easy, you know. We make it so hard on ourselves because we take in too much information. It's misguided. Yeah, we can get upset. A lot of it's intentional, a lot of it's been tricks. I was upset once. I figured it all out once. And as much as that may have been planned as part of my path, or maybe it's just what I chose, it's not the real me. I'm here to be a messenger to myself and to anyone else who chooses to take a gander. I think we're all here for that. I found it's those that listen the best that can provide brevity and truth to others. I listened for a long ass time. It was tough to try to start speaking, still kind of working my way through it. Life is interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. You are so incredibly powerful. You are creating everything in your life. It's tough to see it if you're taking in information that's similar to what everyone else is taking in around you. Again, I suggest that you separate yourself and then go through that process. Connect with love, forgive everything, forgive yourself, imagination. You kick on that imagination by going through that 4 step process. What you imagine, start with your heart, intention, attention, hold it, listen to your belly to pivot if required, take action immediately at what your heart tells you with friction. You do that, you will see the results in your life. And it will be magic because this place is magic. Magic is not cartoons and pedophiles with playing cards. Magic is how everything here is created. It's the nuance of the ether whispering to you. I'm watching you and listening to you. And as soon as you do anything, I'm showing it to you. That's the magic of this place. Everybody can run away from it as much as they want, but it's still happening. They're just choosing not to look at it. At some point I saw it and I can't unsee it. It's not that there's some group out there trying to get you. They're just doing their job, feeding information into a system that you don't have to live within. But to take your own life into your own hands, you must go find who you are and sit and see. See the repercussions, see the results, see the feedback in your life. You are the cause. You, the real you that you're avoiding, the underlying theme. The theme is the cause of the things in your life. Address the theme, and you will see the effects. And then build the theme with your imagination. Hold it. Hold that focus. Act on it with friction. Friction is the creative generative principle. Female open womb, holding space, the male insertion of the spark, and then the two coming together with a spark here and the female womb holding it. As soon as they touch, there's friction. Now that thing's being created. The male energy gives of itself. The female energy holds space for it. Male energy cannot give of itself into nothing. It has to be into the holding space of the female. Female energy is the beginning spot. The male energy is the blessing. And then it's just the blessing left there. So it's not the male energy anymore. It becomes the son of the daughter. And that requires the friction. And that friction is what makes everything here grow. And that's also the allegory of what you actually are. It's the female energy and the male energy and the friction of the both. That's also the yin yang. It's also the spinning of the swastika, which is also the telling of the tale of the stars, which is also telling the tale of your spiritual growth. It's all you. It's all about you. It's also the original Celtic cross. Female energy, male energy. Also the stars. It's all the same shit. Genuine. It's all the same blessing. It's all the same story. You are a story. You are the great story of the great spirit growing uniquely as you now. Don't waste it. I love you. Prima Voltus Interior.